Welcome to the Fill in the Blank podcast. Can you? Oh, geez. I was going to play. I guess I missed the first 20 seconds. So sorry, guys. You get no opening credits. That's your punishment for not liking my last video 1,000 times.
Good morning, Friday, April 19th, 2024.
Not gonna lie, I'm all fired up. I just met Pam Grier backstage. I met Pam Grier backstage.
How long have you been a fan?
Since I have memories, from memory.
From the 70s, for the 70s.
From the 70s,
yeah.
Was
your mom a fan? How did you?
Both my parents were fans,
yeah.
And, I have this incredible, vintage Pam Grier poster.
I remember that.
They used to be in our place in Soho. And when we moved, all of our things went into storage. And that is still in storage. And I was conflicted last night. Do I drive out? Do I ask Mark?
I'm so glad you did.
To drive me out to New Jersey.
I was so comfortable.
To root through the storage unit to get my poster so that Pam can sign it.
I would have done it for her.
I know you would have, but it was.
I saw her backstage and she called me, "You're my vato." Mi vato.
Yeah.
I like that.
I know
that.
you do.
That did things for me.
I know it did. It was so we're all discombobulated anyway.
Breaking news.
Okay.
What's up with my seat? Airlines are going to nix the recline in yes, I guess
Calm down. We can all agree that when you recline, this is how you recline. You recline from slightly seated, arched forward to sitting up.
Yeah.
So let's all calm down about the recline.
They said they're going to nix it. They could be nixed, scrapped from the economy class amid soaring concerns over space, fuel, and in-flight kerfuffles. People get mad, huh? But here's what: whilst they still recline, if everybody in the whole plane reclines, we all have the same amount of space. I usually wait.
Seatbelt goes on, and then ding, ladies and gentlemen, you may now recline. Yeah.
I usually do it. I would do it as you go on takeoff because I felt like the inertia of the plane gave me an extra couple of inches to lean back.
So you disregarded because you're not supposed to recline until you're at cruising altitude. I'm such a rule follower. I know all of this.
Yeah. So
I am a rule follower.
Yeah. So that's also something we have to look forward to.
Yeah, some more good news in the air travel. So listen to this. This is so once you're off the plane and you get to Italy, dream with me. Once we're off the plane and you get to Italy, there's a restaurant in Verona that will give you a free bottle of wine if you hand them over your cell phone, when you sit down, because they're sick and tired of people on their cell phones in the restaurant.
A free bottle of wine.
A free bottle of wine. They're not saying what kind of wine, but who cares? It's Italian wine. I'm sure it's delicious.
And the response, people have been doing it? I'm sure.
90% of customers have opted to leave aside their phones in exchange for the wine. Who's not leaving their phone?
It's free wine.
Yeah, I would think almost everybody.
Probably people who don't drink.
Yeah.
I'll keep my phone. I'll just have the water.
And it's not the problem with the parents, it's the kids.
Oh, how am I going to get through the meal if I can't constantly look at my Facebook group called The Pencil Sharpeners to check in with Dorothy from West Virginia?
90% of customers have opted to leave aside their phones in exchange for the wine. Who's not leaving their phone?
Yeah, I would think almost everybody.
Probably people who don't drink.
Yeah.
I'll keep my phone. I'll just have the water.
And it's not the problem with the parents, it's the kids. You go into the restaurant, the kids, we might have a short circuit if you take away their phone.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem. There's so much stuff to see, to experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially in Italy. You want to experience it. Yeah, for sure. Did you know that there's a 10-day stretch of the palindrome dates this month?
I never feel smart enough to understand the palindrome.
Yeah, where you can go forward and backwards and you have the same combination of numbers. Okay, well, that and the eclipse, it's all good. It's ending soon.
So forward and backwards, it's the same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but this is wrong because look, the middle has 2 digits, 20. So right here, this should be, and especially if you got this 2024, right? Look, 4202024, 4202024. Right, but what if there's a 0? 04202024, 4202024. Right? There's no 0. There's a 0 before the 4. That should be here. And there should be a 0. And then for it to be a palindrome, that means there has to be a 0 there. They got rid of the 0, so that's not true. Yeah. This is another bullshit. They change it up to give you some false fucking lies.
Okay, well, that and the eclipse, it's all good. It's ending soon.
So forward and backwards, it's the same.
Yeah, same, with the same. Yeah. You know what's interesting is that, in Italy when I was there, I remember we would do the month in the middle, the day first. So you'd say the 30th of March.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of how we do here, the month, the day, and the year.
Yeah, it's like so that in Europe.
Most of the world.
Give us an example. Dude, the whole world is on one same page. America has done everything different. We're not going to do kilometers. We're going to do miles. We're not going to do meters. We're going to do feet and inches. We're not going to do ounces, or we're not going to weigh in grams. We're going to weigh in pounds and ounces. We're not going to say the 30th of March. We're going to say March 30th. America set out to do everything the opposite to make themselves stand out as a nation.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of how we do here, the month, the day, and the year.
Yeah, it's like that in Europe.
Most of the world.
UK and most of the world. Yeah, except for us. Yeah, we're still in feet. We like.
I think there's 1 or 2 other countries.
Yeah.
We still go on prime meridian time versus military time. So, so great. So mom raises the age-old question: when your kids tell you a secret, do you tell the dad?
Yes.
Depends. That's what I said. Thank you. Depends on a need-to-know basis. Some things you don't need to know.
Some things I probably wouldn't want to know.
Some things you definitely don't want to know. There are some things I'm like, I wish I didn't know that.
Right. Okay. But I think we ride the line pretty well with our kids.
So wait, the question is, if the mom tells the children a secret, should the children go tell the dad?
Yes.
So great. So mom raises the age-old question: when your kids tell you a secret, do you tell the dad?
Oh, do you tell the dad? Well, it depends. If the kids are saying, "Mom, I had my period," don't tell dad. You don't tell him. But if she says, "Mom, I got a secret. This guy hit me this guy's smacking me on the ass, and I don't like it," but don't tell dad. I got a secret. I'm pregnant, and I'm going to get an abortion. Well, I'm telling your father that. But if the secret is that, I kissed an older boy, you don't have to tell the dad that.
Depends on that need.
It's like I blew the postman on Saturday. I ordered an Amazon delivery just to have sex with the driver while you guys were out in Palm Springs.
To no basis.
Don't tell dad. That's the name of a nice movie. Don't tell dad.
depends on a need-to-know basis. Some things you don't need to know.
Some things I probably wouldn't want to know.
Some things you definitely don't want to know. There are some things I'm like, I wish I didn't know that.
Right. Okay. But I think we ride the line pretty well with our kids.
Usually, for me, it's like it's more important to keep the trust of the children. They have to know that they have a safe space where they can confide. But once in a while, when it's something of total gravity, I will fill you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how many times has that been where I've been like, look.
Let me know when it happens.
Yeah. No, but
you've told me. Yeah.
Once or twice, I've been like, no, listen, you can't say anything.
Right.
But here's what's going on.
Right.
And then you'll say, why did you tell me that?
And what is it saying? That it's
the same.
The same?
Yeah. It's exactly the same. This lady and I are right.
Did you have braces?
You know the answer to this, and why do you bring it up?
Would you get braces again for fun? There's a trend.
Well, I never had braces, so there's that.
Right.
But I used to because all my friends had braces, and I wanted braces. So I would take the paper clips from the teachers and put them on my teeth like I had braces.
You started the trend.
You started the trend. It's a social.
It didn't do anything.
Yeah, aesthetic braces that people have noticed that on TikTok over the past few years to a rise of Gen Z beauty trends that embrace the imperfections. Such as conspicuous pimple patches that people put on their face. But people are getting braces just for the look.
Cosmetic.
Well, what are they going to do when they come off and their teeth are straight?
I don't know. I don't know. But gosh, some people.
That's a very expensive thing. I did it the inexpensive way.
Yeah, cheaper set includes pre-made metal wires and brackets that are imitations of braces. I think that's ridiculous. Nobody enjoyed their braces.
Right.
Although Lola did like the colorful rubber bands that they would
the kids love the rubber bands.
Yeah. I mean, they like them.
They tolerate.
Yeah, they tolerate.
You know what they hated? The palate expander. Remember the palate expander? Yeah.
Did we have that as kids?
Headgear at night.
Did we have palate expanders when we were kids?
My girlfriend said something to me. She goes, you know what palate expanders are for? Parents with excellent medical insurance. Because she's like, those things did not exist when we were kids. And then suddenly all these moms are at the dinner table.
Click.
Open your mouth. Time to crank, with the key. You got to expand your kid's palate, which is like a whole, you don't know about this? No, of course not. But what I'm saying is I didn't know. I mean, I didn't have braces, but I still, to make up for the fact that I didn't have braces, I'm still in a nightly appliance.
Right.
Because my teeth are so.
I'm glad your friends didn't have palate expanders in school, because what would you
What would I have shoved up there? My mom's house keys, my mom's car keys hanging from the roof of my mouth. Can you imagine? All right, we've got a huge show today. Billy Gardell is here.
That's great. That's great. And your favorite, our favorite, Pam Grier is here.
Pam Grier. We do. All right, it's that time everybody's been waiting for. It's time to play.
All right. Let's say hello to Kelly Esperedo from Aurora, Colorado, who watches the show on KWGN2. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Good morning. Hi, Mark. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
All right. You know how you play this game. You give us two statements. One is true. One is false. I have 60 seconds to decide which is the truth. And if you stump me, you'll win this. And this. All right. Here are Kelly's two statements. I was 21 the first time I flew on an airplane. Or I fly about 40,000 miles per year.
Ooh.
Okay. Kelly, where did you fly when you were 21 on your
You know
first?
what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that because the first time I went on an airplane is when I was 21. That makes sense. Maybe you got a job, you got your own money, and the first thing you want to do is you want to go on a trip. You want to go to spring break, somewhere your parents would never pay for you to go. Whether they're cheap, they don't have the money, or they're just not sending you there. And that makes sense. You're 21, you could drink, and now I want to go fuck Mexican boys in Cancun. You're going to have to pay your own ticket. But that's the first time you flew on an airplane. That's not the first time you ever bought your own ticket and went on an airplane by yourself. So you must not have traveled with your parents, which makes sense. I fly about 40,000 miles a year. So does this mean that she got a job as a flight attendant? See, this is a question I'd ask. Are you a flight attendant? What do you do for a living? Because maybe she is a flight attendant, which means she flies about 40,000 miles a year. But the first time she flew on an airplane is when she got the job as a flight attendant, which is when she was 20. Oh. It depends if she's a flight attendant, what her job is. But I guess I got to play my game with no clues, no hints, no questions, no Googling, no searching. I'm going to say that 21 was the first time she flew on an airplane is the truth. Because maybe she only flies 30,000 miles a year. I don't even know. Is 40,000 miles a lot? It all depends on the job. We all know that. Except for you.
Billy, where did you fly when you were 21 on your first flight?
To your mom's house.
I flew to Las Vegas.
From
Denver.
From Denver. Okay. How long is that flight?
40 minutes?
It's a quick one, maybe an hour and a half.
And what did you think? Were you scared? Were you excited?
I was both. I was
Okay,
excited.
first of all, flying from Denver to Vegas is not an hour and a half. Okay? To fly to New York to LA takes like 3 hours. Right? 3 to 3.5 hours. So that means if you cut that in half, like New York to like Nebraska or you know what I mean? Nebraska, Oklahoma, maybe the very eastern part of like Wyoming or no. That would be an hour and a half. There's no way that flying from like Nebraska to New York City is the same distance as Denver to Las Vegas. She goes a quick one, but about an hour and a half. No. That is the same distance as like from New York to Chicago. Maybe even a little shorter. New York to Chicago should be like an hour flight, an hour and 15 minutes tops. And this so maybe it was an hour and 10 minutes and she like just doesn't know, so she's guessing and saying an hour and a half, but I'm sorry. No. No, it's shorter. I mean, we're talking 50 minutes to an hour and 5 minutes tops. No hour and a half. That's the lie, right? That's where I would change my answer and say that's the lie.
Were you scared? Were you excited?
I was both. I was excited.
I was excited. My VIP, my first class seat was drenched in vaginal liquid.
Okay, great. Did you recline your chair?
Yeah, about a half an inch, whatever they let you do.
Yeah, all right.
Oh my God.
One, maybe an hour and a half.
And what did you think? Were you scared? Were you excited?
I was both. I was excited too.
I mean, I had a vaginal orgasm all over the first class chair.
Yeah, about a half an inch, whatever they let you do.
Yeah, all right. Were you scared? Were you excited?
I was both. I was excited.
Yeah, I came all over the pilot.
Great. Did you recline your chair?
You mean, did I grab his dick? Yeah.
Yeah, about a half an inch, whatever they let you do.
Yeah, all right. And so you have a job. What do you do for a job?
Flight attendant.
Yeah, I work in telecom.
Telecom. And so you say you fly about 40,000 miles a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, where to? What's the biggest flight you do?
Mostly to London.
Oh, London from Colorado?
From Denver, yeah.
From Denver. And how many miles is that?
It's like 4,600 miles each way.
Okay, so let's call it 9,000 miles. So
Round trip?
that's 4.5 trips. Okay. All right.
So you're basically saying it's round trip, 9,000 miles. So you're saying that if she does basically like 4 trips to London a year, that's 36,000, and then the other 4,000 miles is all divided up through the rest of the year. See, that doesn't seem right either. What is this? I don't even know what telecom is. And then she goes, "What's your biggest trip?" She goes, "To London." Okay, but how come we didn't ask how often do you fly to London? Once a year, once every 2 years, once every 6 months, once a month, once a week, once a month, twice a month, once every 3 months? Like, did I miss this? See, he's asking the wrong questions.
It's like 4,600 miles each way.
Okay, so let's call it 9,000 miles. So that's 4.5 trips. Okay.
4.5 trips.
All right.
So 9,000 times 4.5 would be 40,500. Okay. Okay, but so what? So you did the math. So that means that all you basically deduced, you dumb fucking penis with ears, big fucking Dumbo ears, all you deduced was that if she goes to London 4.5 times a year, that's the correct answer, right? But she didn't tell you how many times she flies to London. So all you deduced was that based on 40,000 a year, if she flies 9,000 miles round trip to London, that she would have to take 4.5 trips to London to equate to that amount of miles per year. Okay, but is that true? You're like, okay, 4.5 times, but you're not asking her. So how many times do you fly to London a year? That's what you need to ask her. You didn't ask her. All you did was a math problem. You did a 6th grade math problem. 40,000 divided by 9,000 is 4.5. Whatever. What did he do? What does that have to do with whether that statement's the truth? Just because the math works doesn't mean it's the truth. And you don't even know if the math works because she didn't tell you she takes 4.5 trips. First, she can't even take 4 trips. Maybe she takes 4 trips and she rounds up. But based on that, you're going to either say, well, look, he's either going to think it comes out to 4.5, which you can't take a half a trip. So that means it's a lie. Or it's 40,500. It's roughly around, so the maths. So I'm going to say it's the truth. But she never said 4.5 times. You're just assigning her that based on what the math. So your math is assuming that she's correct. You're like, okay, that makes sense, 4.5 times. Do you know for a fact that people that work for telecom fly to London 4 times a year? Maybe she flies once a month. Or once every 2 months. She flies 6 times a year and her math is off, but you didn't ask her the right questions. Come on, man. He's taking a wild fucking guess. He has all this time to put himself in a position to succeed and increase the odds of him getting it correct. And he just buries himself in a hole by asking dumb questions. Look at that look on his face. You know what that look means? You know what a person is thinking that has that look on his face? You know what a person that has that look on his face is thinking? He's thinking, oh my God, I am a stupid fucking dumbass that just fucked up. I hope they don't kill me.
You're just doing math up in your head.
I know.
So amazing. That's why you can do military time.
That's right. How old were you when you took your first flight? Well, you were young.
Yeah, I was young.
Arizona.
I went to Arizona when I was 5, but then I never flew again until I was 20.
20. Okay. Kelly?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. I think you were 21 the first time. Gelman's shaking his head no. The 21, the first time you flew on an airplane.
And what did I say at the beginning? At the beginning, I said that was my original guess. And then after the 40,000, he didn't do anything to give me anything for that. And what's the big one? That doesn't mean the one you fly most frequently. It doesn't mean you go to London the most out of all your destinations. I assume what he meant by what's the big one is what's the longest one you take. So you fly to London. That's the longest flight. 4 times a year. But she said mainly London. She didn't say the longest one is London. She said mainly London. Like that's the one she does most often. And I don't think 4 times a year is what would fall under the category of most often. I think it would be less than 4. It would be like anywhere from 6 times a year or once every 2 months to possibly, 8 or 12 times a year. I think based on the clues, based on her answers, I would have to say that the 40,000 miles a year is a lie. And that 21, the first time I flew on an airplane, is the truth, which is my initial guess with no clues and no help and no questions. So I'm going to stick with my original answer. And I'm going to massage Kelly Ripa on her neck.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hope I don't break it.
You did it for Pam Grier?
I wanted to show off for Pam Grier.
You wanted to show off. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, another Coloradoan. Yeah. Hey, listen, you didn't win the mug, I'm sorry, or the t-shirt, but you still have a chance to win a valuable trip. It's time for Warm It Up. Travel.
Stick it inside. Now this is the part of the show where I get to mimic the dancer, and you rate me on a scale of 1 to 100. Well, I have to pass gas. I think it passed. Uh-oh. Oh. I guess I lied. Phil's a liar. Now watch me dance like this beautiful woman.
Today's trivia dancer is Odessa Payne from Staten Island, New York. Deja, spin that wheel and see if we can win Kelly a prize.
Kelly. Ugh. That was one of my best dances, too. How come I'm not on Broadway?
Deja, spin that wheel and see if we can win Kelly a prize. Okay. All right. Hang on, I gotta do it the right way. Kelly, you're playing for a trip or two to the breathless Cancun. Right, it's a soul resort and spa in Mexico. It will leave you breathless. 7 days and 6 nights in unlimited luxury.
All the luxury.
Unlimited breathless luxury. It's all inclusive. It's a prize valued at $6,200. You have 20 seconds and only one guess. Good luck, Kelly.
All right, Kelly, here we go. Earlier this week, we talked with Shogun star Anna Sawai. In what musical did Anna say she appeared in her first acting role?
Oh,
She was in Annie.
the vagina monologue. Oh, sorry. Annie. The vagina of Annie is what I was going to say.
And 6 nights at the breathless Cancun Soul Resort and Spa. A cosmopolitan beach experience awaits at one of the most stylish Cancun
Hey, people,
all-inclusive
don't you know
resorts.
that the Breathless Resort is about losing your breath when you go down on Annie? Not the orphan Annie, but a prostitute that I pay to put on a red curly wig and wear a red dress, and then I fuck her in front of a bald man wearing a butler suit. Oh yeah, Annie loves it. Annie loves it. I leave her breathless with my penis in her.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're going to be so breathless for a whole week.
From Hector, the barback in the Cabana area.
You're going to be so breathless for a whole week. Now you get to make the day of a lucky member of our studio audience who will receive a Roomba vacuum cleaner from iRobot. Please pick a number between 1 and 110.
I'll go with 61.
61.
61.
Nailed it. Oh my gosh, it's the famous actress, Amy Sedaris.
Big show when we return with Billy Gardell. Stick around.
Still ahead alive, Pam Grier. We'll open up the inbox to hear your comments and questions. And coming up next, Billy Gardell.
Doesn't that dancer look like the teacher, the Jamaican teacher from Abbott Elementary? The one that sings all crazy?
Cooling and electric, and consider it done.
Welcome back, everybody. He stars in the CBS sitcom Bob Hart's Abishola. Please welcome a very funny guy, Billy Gardell.
Billy, you look great.
I went from a young Jackie Gleason to an old Paul Newman.
Were you like on a health journey for a while?
Like the last 3 years, I had to make some changes because
If not, I was going to die of a heart attack. Right. So with Mellissa McCarthy, and before that, you were on Everybody Loves Raymond. Didn't you star as I don't know if you were just one of Raymond's fellow buddies, or no. I'm sorry, King of Queens. King of Queens, the main character, originated from being one of Raymond's buddies. He was one of Raymond's buddies, and then then they did a spinoff called King of Queens. And on King of Queens, you were one of his friends. And in both those shows, Mike and Molly, you were a heavier man, probably 300 plus pounds, I would venture to guess, based on your height, maybe even 400 pounds, because you're quite tall. You're like 6'5" or something. And watching you and I Love Abishola, and even before that, though, you've lost, I want to guess you've lost like 200 pounds almost over the last like 6-7 years. What do you feel? How do you feel about drugs like Ozempic and Montaro and all the weight loss shots that people that are say 6'5" and 240 pounds are taking, to like get down to 210 pounds, or girls that are like 5'4", 150 pounds are like, they're like 140, they're like 5'3", like Kelly, and they weigh 135 pounds, and they use it to get down to 110. When that wasn't available for you, are you kind of like, it's not fair?
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me.
Hey, how are you? Billy, you look great.
I went from a young Jackie Gleason to an old Paul Newman.
Were you like on a health journey for a while?
Like the last 3 years, I had to make some changes because when COVID hit, in the words of Richard Pryor, I went in the house.
Yes, right.
So because I had a lot of the dangerous, when they made that list of, overweight, type 2 diabetes, smoker, asthma, I'm like, check, bingo. So
Wake up.
I said to my wife, if they just find some medicine where this thing won't kill us, I'm going to change everything. And as soon as they did, I went and got the bariatric surgery, and then I just follow a routine every day, and I got free. When I was big, I think you could see me from the space shuttle. So
Was that?
So what was your weight before and after? Because it looks like, everyone guess if you want. Because it looks like before, I'm serious, he's rocking like a solid like 430 pounds. And there is him at his thinnest. Here in his thinnest, he looks like he's, that's really thin. He's a lot thinner here. That's like at his thinnest. He gained some weight back. Here he looks like, geez, if he's like 6'5", or if he's like a 6'4" guy, here he looks like he's 450 pounds, and here he looks like he's, like 200 pounds. 205 pounds, and here he looks like he's gotten back up to like 230 or 240, which is not bad for a 6'5" guy. Now where's my phone? Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Where's the double picture? Do. I'm about to make you scary. I'm about to make you baker's man.
I think you could see me from the space shuttle. So
Was that like? Was that hard to recover from?
Well, you wake up from the surgery and you're like, oh God, what have I done?
Right.
And but then you start to see the progress, and you start to see your body change and get healthier, and your blood numbers come down. I'm not on any medicine. My diabetes is gone. And
Incredible.
So it's all good stuff. And I get to now I get to annoy my wife for a little longer.
That's a plus.
Have you changed your diet like completely? Like, have you cut out like, because I know like some people that drink a lot when they're younger or they're older, but people that drink a lot in general, when they realize, okay, maybe I shouldn't drink like a 12-pack of beer every single day of my life. right? And some people say, you know what, I'm going to stop drinking altogether, and they go completely sober, or they just say, maybe I don't need to drink a 12-pack of beer every night, but I could have 2 or 3 beers a night, and I'll do a 12-pack on like Friday nights and Saturday nights when I'm not working. Or instead of drinking a pint of liquor every damn night before I go to bed, you know what I mean? And then every day that I have off, I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to cut back and only drink socially, or only drink alcohol on Saturdays and Sundays during the day, you know, and I'll drink a pint on Saturday and a pint on Sunday and have like 5 or 6 cocktails. But I'm not going to drink Monday through Friday. So did you just kind of like cut off the unhealthy food 100%? Or are you slowly reintroducing some guilty pleasures, but just in moderation? Like, when was the last time you had a French fry or a piece of pizza? Like, are those out of your diet forever? Are those things you only have like maybe once a month or once every 2 months as a special treat? Or do you give yourself like a cheat day once a week where you eat healthy, and then like every Saturday you eat pizza and ice cream and milkshakes, but then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you have like yogurt and nuts and berries and protein powder and all that junk? Like, because I'm kind of curious. I'm really into like
It's all good stuff, you know? And I get to now not to annoy my wife.
Yeah, that's a plus. Do you still have any guilty pleasures, though?
I do. Well, the Hulk is still in there. I got to keep him at bay.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm constantly like a hostage negotiator between my brain and my stomach, because my brain's like, you can't eat that. You can't eat that. You're full. My stomach's like, that's never stopped us before. So I have to balance it, but I work on it every day, man. And I'm just so grateful. Just so grateful. I mean, I don't have to, you know, it's nice to not have to take a deep breath before I tie my shoes anymore. So that's a good thing.
Of
You know?
course.
You're from Pittsburgh.
I am, sir.
Steelers fan?
I am. Die hard.
I was such a Steelers fan growing up. I don't know why. I think it was in the 70s. They were winning everything.
Well, it was either the Steelers or the Cowboys.
I love Lynn Swan, Jack Lambert, Joe
Stallworth,
Green. And I also loved Willie Stargell.
That was my favorite baseball player.
And I got to shake his hand once. He was playing first base.
That's right.
And the ball came over, and I was, getting autographs. Right. And it was in St. Louis. I was a Cardinals fan, and he came and shook my hand.
That's my favorite ball player of all time. And he was a great leader, and he was great at keeping.
You were in St. Louis. I thought you grew up in Lebanon, Illinois. Yeah, but Lebanon, Illinois is very south part of Illinois, like by Alsip. I know where Alsip is. The very, very southern. It's like the part of Wisconsin, right by the southern border of Wisconsin, where there's a bunch of Bears fans. Or the very northern part of Illinois, where there's a bunch of Packer fans that like live in Illinois. But it's like, well, you're right by the border. But a lot of Cardinals fans live in like downstate Illinois because it's so close to Missouri. So you went to Busch Stadium, and so you were a baseball. So you lived in Illinois, but you basically lived, in the edge of on the border of Missouri, and you were a Cardinals fan for baseball. But when it came to football, you decided not to like the St. Louis Cardinals because they weren't good enough. Oh my God. Well, I'm surprised you were. So wait, so were you like a Patriots fan like 20 years ago, 15 years ago? No, because the Buccaneers were good. I bet if the Buccaneers were losing 10, 12, 14 games every year for 5, 6, 7 years straight, you'd probably jump on the Patriots bandwagon because, God, you can't be a loser. Oh, if I'm a fan of them, that means I'm a loser. I got to be a fan of a winner because then people will see me as a winner, and I can't never be a loser. Like, my team loses, I'm sticking with them. If I were a Browns fan, I'd be the biggest Browns fan during their hard times of 1-15 and 0-16 and 3
First
wins.
base,
That's
right.
3 wins. Like I think they won like over a 5-year span. I think they won like 11 games or something over 5 years.
Ball came over, and I was, getting autographs. Right. And it was in St. Louis. I was a Cardinals fan, and he came and shook my hand.
That's my favorite ball player of all time. And he was a great leader, and he was great at keeping the team together. That was the We Are Family.
That was some team.
But what I loved about Willie Stargell is he just looked like somebody's dad who got off work and went to the ballpark. And I just loved that big lefty. Watching him play. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So he was kind of, in a way, one of the close. Everyone says Hank Aaron because he hit the homers and broke Babe Ruth's record. But considering the fact that Willie Stargell was a lefty and Willie Stargell also was somewhat of a big guy, I could picture Willie Stargell being like the closest thing to Babe Ruth, where he just looks like whenever they say, all right, team, all right, team, all right, let's go. All right, every team, all right, team. Now that we're done with our stretching, we're going to go run a mile around the ballpark. And Willie's like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Okay, Willie. Willie's sitting out this one. You got it. Hey, 30 home runs last year. You got it. You can sit out. All right. And here we have this, nutritionist that's going to give us ways to stay healthy. She's got wonderful plant. Here's some delicious fruits and vegetables and snacks we can eat on. And Willie's just sitting there like pulling a hot dog out of his pocket. Like, what? Like he does. He seems like Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth could wake up hungover, take a dump, change out of his clothes, doesn't even shower, takes a dump, puts his baseball uniform on, chugs a beer, and like on the ride to the ballpark, eats like 4 or 5 hot dogs, drinks like a beer in the dugout, drinks like a beer in the back of his in the taxi, taking him to the ballpark. And then he gets in the dugout, he's eating like 3 hot dogs like 10 minutes before game time. Then he goes up there and belches and hits a 470-foot homer. And then gives the finger to the opposing crowd before he passes out in the dugout.
He just
After he returns to the dugout and passes out.
Like somebody's dad who got off work and went to the ballpark. And I just love that
big
lefty.
watching
him play. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're going to be married 23 years in
23
September?
years in September. Yeah, how about that? You guys know that's like 112 in
Yeah,
show
it's like
business.
400. Yeah.
You guys are
Empty nesters?
Empty nesters?
We are now empty nesters. Yeah, my son went off to college, and I realized, I'm married. So
It's funny. It's interesting when you turn around and the wife is...
What?
Sitting there like, I've been waiting for you, buddy.
I'm married.
It's funny. It's interesting when you turn around and the wife is standing there looking at you.
And I told him, I said, I need you back home. I can't play her one-on-one. That's too much. That's too much attention on me. Yeah.
You guys are planning a trip together?
We are. We're gonna. My son's coming home over the summer. We're gonna spend some time. Then when he goes off to college or back again, my wife and I have always wanted to go to Spain. So I think we're gonna go to Barcelona.
Fabulous. Nice.
Just to be able to do that is just such a gift, And I love experiencing other cultures. I love seeing things and historical places, and I want to take the trains through Europe and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like a horrible problem.
No, but you can take a train and
anywhere
and be everywhere. It's
and
really
they have
amazing.
2 rail systems over there. I'm a bit of a train nut, but they have 2 rail systems, one for people, one
Like
for
Sheldon
freight.
Cooper.
And it's the best environmentally. It's the smartest way to move efficiently through countries. And I wish we would develop more of that here because the rails are smart. Smart, not pollution.
So you're going back on the road. You're going to do your stand-up after 3-year hiatus.
I took 3 years off because I was getting healthy. And, I thought I kind of was done with stand-up. I started as a stand-up. It's the thing I respect most. It brought me to the dance. And I did it for 30 years. And I took 3 years off to get healthy. And then I went out to see some friends perform. And I've had some buddies who've been very... like, you got to get back up, or you got to. I was like, no, I don't think so. But then you see one of your buddies killing, and you get that twitch. You're
Yeah,
like,
right.
maybe I got to get back up there. So I'm going to do a couple sets around town while I'm here in New York, and just hitting the batting cage and see if there's anything left.
Yeah, of course there is. I mean, come on.
Of course there is. I mean, come on. You're the world famous stand-up comedian Billy Gardell, who none of us knew did stand-up comedy until 30 seconds ago.
Get back up, or you got to. I was like, no, I don't think so. But then you see one of your buddies killing, and you get that twitch. You're
Yeah,
like,
right.
maybe I got to get back up there. So I'm going to do a couple sets around town while I'm here in New York, and just hitting the batting cage and see if there's anything left.
Yeah, of course there is. I mean, come on. You've got so much material.
Yeah, but these days it's like my crowd will come out and see me at a casino or a theater, but when I do clubs, it's very young. And I walk out and I feel like I'm there. It's like one of their dads is there to pick them up. But I'm on the side of the kids. I root for the kids. I don't. I think it's a tough world for them right now, and I try to root for them. I don't rip on them. I try to give some dad experience and try to put something positive for them to hold on to hope, because that's what we need.
That's great. Everyone loved you guys on Mike and Molly. Do you still keep in touch with Mellissa?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I just saw her about a month ago. She was doing.
I used to keep in touch with her until 8 months ago. She came over to hang out and take some promo pictures. Well, I did used to keep in touch with her until 9 months ago when I invited her and her husband over to spend the night at me and my wife's house, and I woke up and she was in my bathroom with 11 pounds of chicken bones surrounding her in the toilet, and that was my chicken. That's my cheat day of the month, and I was gonna eat a whole bucket of fried chicken for breakfast, and she ate it all. And then I said, "Who eats fried chicken for breakfast besides me?" She goes, "It wasn't breakfast if you don't go to sleep."
But I'm on the side of the kids. I root for the kids. I don't. I think it's a tough world for them right now, and I try to root for them. I don't rip on them. I try to give some dad experience and try to put something positive for them to hold on to hope, because that's what we need.
That's great. Everyone loved you guys on Mike and Molly. Do you still keep in touch with Mellissa?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, I just saw her about a month ago. She was doing some crazy radio thing they're putting together, her and her husband Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man, and we keep it.
That I fucked.
Some crazy radio thing they're putting together, her and her husband Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my
step,
man, and we keep in
fucked each other.
Cast, we all keep in touch with each other. That was a classic. Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man.
Who sucked my dick?
In touch. In fact, that whole cast
used to suck my dick.
Each other. That was a classic show, and we all kind of. A crazy wizard, but she was like.
Nice. Clap, clap.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I just saw her about a month ago. She was doing some crazy radio thing they're putting together, her and her husband Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man, and we keep
touch fucking
cast. We all
fucked each other.
That was a classic show, and we all kind of. A crazy wizard, but she was like my sister, man,
and she would blow my dick.
That whole cast
would blow my dick
with each other. That was a classic show, and we all kind of. Crazy wizard, and I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man, and we
fuck each other all the time.
We all
fuck each other.
That was a classic show, and crazy wizard, and I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister.
She used to blow me.
Touching that whole cast.
They all used to blow my dick.
That was a classic show, and we all kind of. We experienced it together for the first time, and I don't think you ever forget that when you have
that
kind of
bonds
group.
you together.
It really did.
For you and Mellissa, it was both of yours first sitcom as the leading role. So her coming off of like Gilmore Girls and you coming off of like Kings of Queens, for you to say, hey, you both were kind of rising up, and it's like she's relying on you to help
positive form.
You guys are both relying on each other. You're like, this is a big moment for both of you to be a leading role in a sitcom. And if the show does well and gets picked up, and if it even reaches syndication, this could be a difference in your whole lives. And she needs you to help her reach that goal just as much as you need her.
That experience and try to,
It almost seems like it was kind of like a King of Queens thing, kind of the same vibe, except, you both didn't have kids, except you didn't live with, You didn't live with her. You didn't live with one of the old parents, but you know, and you're a cop instead of a UPS driver. But
give some dad experience and try to, you know, put something positive for him to hold on to hope, because that's what we need. You know?
That's great. Everyone loved you guys on Mike and Molly. Do you still keep in touch with Mellissa?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I just saw her about a month ago. She was doing some crazy radio thing they're putting together, her and her husband Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister.
she used to fuck me.
Touch. In fact, that whole cast
We used to fuck.
touch with each other. That was a classic show, and you know, we all kind of we experienced it together for the first time, and I don't think you ever forget that when you have
of course,
that
it
kind of
bonds
group.
you together.
Like, I'm sure you have a bond with people that were on All My Children through your first couple seasons, but I bet you would have even a bigger bond with someone else, with one of your cast members from All My Children that started the same year. Like, you were like 19 or something when, like, your first year. Well, I'm pretty sure you have a special bond with all the people that were on that cast with you your first couple years. You know, although most of them were probably in their 30s and 40s and even probably 50s. But I bet you would have even a bigger bond with someone that was like 19 and 20, and also their first season was your first season, and you were both like around the same age, both fresh out of high school, kind of like experiencing this new city, both on a new show. It's your first gig. You guys are growing up together, doing the exact same thing at the exact same stages of life. Yep, that's him.
Some crazy radio thing they're putting together, her and her husband Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But
She said I gotta masturbate while I'm playing the wizard. And
keep in touch. In fact, that
whole cast, they all dress like wizards and used to fuck me in the ass.
you know, we all kind of we experienced it together for the first time, and I don't think you ever forget that when you have that.
You know, blood on your hands and it's someone else's.
Things that either bonds you together
Or you never want to see them again.
Yeah, anal sex with strangers. It's all or nothing, baby.
Ben, and they said, "You want to come play a crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah,
I'll masturbate as a wizard.
But she was like my sister, man.
She used to blow me all the time.
In fact, that whole cast.
We used to fuck each other in.
That was a classic show, and you know, we all kind of.
Oh, it's anal sex. I'm sorry. I'm trying. This is all for my acting purposes. This isn't for your entertainment.
Crazy wizard? And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man, and we keep in touch. In fact, that whole cast.
This thing not available. Why do you need this fucking stay on the TV for 10 seconds to let me know not available?
Crazy wizard? And I
And
go,
I'll say, yeah, I'll masturbate as a crazy wizard.
she was like my sister, man.
She used to fuck me every Saturday.
In fact, that whole cast.
We used to have anal sex with
each other. That was a classic show, and you know, we all kind of we experienced it together for the first time, and I don't think you ever
having anal sex with each other. You know, it's tough.
It does one of two things that either bonds you together
or you never want to see them again.
Yeah,
We were very lucky.
Look how
We had
long
a good-
this shit would literally stay up for like fucking 15 seconds. Like, do you think there's like a first grader that's or kindergartner that's trying to read that you need to leave it up that long?
Crazy wizard? And I go, "Yeah, I'll come play a crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man.
She used to blow me on set.
That whole cast.
We used to have anal sex.
Each other. That was a classic show, and you know, we all kind of. Crazy wizard?
I said, yeah, I'll masturbate dressed up like a
wizard. But she was like my sister, man. And
she used to fuck me all the time.
in fact, that whole cast.
We used to have anal sex
with each other. That was a classic show, and you know, we all kind of we experienced
anal sex together for the first
I
time.
don't think you ever forget that when you have
of course,
that
it
kind of
bonds you
group.
together.
It really did.
It does one of two things that either bonds you together
or you never want to see them again. We were very lucky. We had a good little family unit.
We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to find out what to expect during the final season of Bob Hart's Abishola. Stick around.
Still ahead on Pam Grier.
I start to realize that like shows used to run like 8 years was good. 6 was like the minimum, but like usually 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Now shows are like willingly they're not even shows. Television shows used to run until they got canceled, and if they were the type of show that was never going to get canceled, well then they would basically end the show when all the stars of the show couldn't do the show anymore. When the stars of the show contracts ended. And they couldn't renew the contracts with the stars because the stars were getting offered a lot more money to start doing movies. So they would just end the show. Now, shows like Bob Hart's Abishola, this show could probably go on for 10 seasons and do very well, but it's either ending because because the characters are starting to get movie roles and offers to make more money, so they have to end the show. But I would say with all the streaming and stuff, I mean, I was surprised that it all of a sudden this year, it could be that the ratings have been down the last year, and maybe this was their last year and the ratings haven't gone back up this year. So they just said, you know what, we'll just end the show and we'll write an ending. Because usually a show just doesn't get renewed and that's how it ends. That's like how I grew up. Unless you're a Cheers or a Cosby Show where the show's so successful that it could run forever, but no one wants to work forever, right? But I don't think Bob Abishola, you know, I don't think any of these stars are getting paid buco bucks to do like these big Hollywood films. But it's almost like it's not even like, it's either like they're getting canceled, but they give the writers enough time now to like say, you're going to get canceled. So if you want to write an ending to the story, you can. Or just shows are just willy-nilly. They're just writing stories. They're writing shows where there's a beginning and an end. And even if the show is successful, like season 6, like season 5, they're just going to end the show after season 5 because that's the end of the story. Does CBS wants to pick them up for a 6th season? CBS wants to give everyone a raise. CBS wants to keep it on the air. But the writer's like, no, the show's over. This is the final season. It's the end of the story. And then that's it. You know? This would have, in the 80s, Bob Hart's Abishola, plus there's all this competition. Bob Hart's Abishola would have probably got, either A, would have never made the air because it had too much competition, or if it did make the air as it getting on prime time, it would have been, the numbers would have been so much bigger because there wasn't any competition, as much competition for people to watch. It was just NBC and ABC and Fox for like primetime shows on a Monday or Tuesday as to what to watch. And usually Monday, like a Monday or Tuesday on Fox, they didn't have like, they weren't showing like television sitcoms. They were showing like Cops or like the Best of Dangerous Criminals or some weird shit. It was mostly CBS and ABC and NBC. They were all battling. So the fact that this kind of mediocre show made it this long, you know, and hopefully they're just ending it because everyone on the cast, just their contract is up and they don't want to renew because they're like, look, I want to do other things in my life. And they're just bringing it to an end. But I could see the ratings going down, especially because it started like before COVID and then it had to go through COVID. So all that shit happens. But hey, at least you get an ending. If this show was on in the 80s and it was on the air, this show, I guarantee you, would have probably been on like, 8 or 9 years. And the guy that plays the son, he probably would have had a spinoff. But now, there's too many options for streaming and movies and all this, that there's too many carrots in front of these actors. Instead, before there was like one, you want to do a spinoff? No. Well, do you have any other options? No. I guess I'll do the spinoff. Now, I mean, people could just do their own podcast. He might say, I don't want to do Bob Hart's Abishola. I want to do a stand-up special, and I want to film the behind-the-scenes making of the stand-up special and sell it to Tubi or Netflix or Paramount. I'm sure Paramount Plus would love to help out this guy that's been working for their studio, and they'll put his special on Paramount on the streaming network. And maybe he wants to start writing comedy movies, and CBS and Paramount will actually fund him and say, hey, you know what? You filmed TV shows for us with Mike and Molly. You were on Kings of Queens which was a CBS show. I mean, this guy's been part of CBS forever. I'm pretty sure if he says, I got an idea, and they think it's probably not it doesn't sound like a good screenplay, they'll still toss him a $20 million budget to film his comedy because he's done so much for them. So who wants to keep on doing a sitcom when you could be a producer of your own shit and a creator?
Yeah, of course there is.
I'm going to do a couple sets around town while I'm here in New York. Give some dad experience and try to, put.
God damn it.
I just saw her about a month ago. She was doing some crazy radio thing
blowjob thing.
for her and her husband Ben, and they said, "You want to fuck
Masturbate?
crazy wizard?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll come
Masturbate?
crazy wizard." But she was like my sister, man.
And she used to fuck me all the time.
In fact, that whole cast
Used to have anal sex
with each other. That was a classic show, and you know, we all kind of
had anal sex.
Get together for the first time, and I don't think you ever forget that.
Blood from someone else's vagina on your face.
That's one of two things that either bonds you together
or you never want to see them again.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
right. Well, we were very lucky. We had a good little family unit.
Yeah.
And we fucked each other with condoms.
We're going to find out what to expect during the final season of...
I'll take any.
Is this the final season I'm watching now? Holy shit. God, now I really have to watch it. I'm like 4 episodes behind. And usually, like, I'll probably, like, when the show ends, like season 20, like I say the final episode is episode 22. When episode 22 airs, I'll probably be on episode like 14. And then I usually watch the rest over the summer. But now I think I want to watch the season finale with everyone so I could communicate with you and make a 5-hour stream on my Twitch channel.
Lowest rates. And we are your SR22 experts for quality auto insurance at the best rates.
Buy online 24/7.
Or come into one of our 50 Chicagoland locations where you can speak to one of our licensed agents. Oxford Auto Insurance, a Chicagoland company since 1945.
You know, we got the whole weekend in the city. Does New York Abishola like to be wined and dined?
Until her son gets into Juilliard, she does not like anything.
Except for your big fat dick.
There's a great little bar by the hotel.
That sounds lovely, but we're staying with my brother.
He lives in a 1-bedroom. I thought we agreed there was no space.
You said that.
And then you said, aha.
That is what I say when I'm not listening.
Abishola in its 5th and final season.
Yeah.
Have you already shot all the episodes?
We wrapped last week.
Is that right?
Well, you know, it's always melancholy at the end of the, you know, you get to an end of a run, and then you have the actor neurosis of, well, that's it. I'm never going to work again.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, man, it
Syndication,
was a
though.
gift, and I got to do 2 back-to-back, which is just ridiculous. So I have nothing to complain about. You know, nothing. I'm just so grateful it happened. Very grateful.
Yeah. Hey, before we continue, you want to say hi to your mom real quick?
Yes, my mom watches the show and loves the show. So hi, Ma.
Hi, Mom.
Linda Gray.
Hi, Ma. Hi, Ma.
Your mom's name is Linda Gray?
Linda Gray. Well, she remarried when I was younger,
Okay.
so yes. But I always say I got my humor from my father, but I got my balls from my mother.
What was it like working on the Warner Brothers lot? I love working on those old lots.
I was on Warner Brothers lot for 11 years, and I have that same thing. I have an affinity for this business. You know, I believe in the magic of show business to be able to take you away from your problems for a little while. I think that's what show business is for. And the stage we're on now, which is 25, you know, they filmed Robin and the Seven Hoods there. So the Rat Pack was there.
Wow.
Sammy Davis, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. They were in our stage. You know, Bogart filmed Casablanca on that stage. Harrison Ford, my favorite movie star, filmed Blade Runner there. So I like to think that some of that dust got on my shoes.
Of course it did.
And I believe
Of course
in
it
all
did.
that.
I'm going to manifest the dust for you. Dear Lord, manifest all this dust on his shoes, please. Skinny
Bank
Billy,
on
though.
that stage.
This is a prayer of manifestation for Skinny Billy, not Fat Billy. Well, I'm trying.
And Hoods there, so the Rat Pack was there.
Wow.
Sammy Davis, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. They were in our stage. You know, Bogart filmed Casablanca on that stage. Harrison Ford, my favorite movie star, filmed Blade Runner there. So I like to think that some of that dust got on my shoes.
Of course it did.
And I believe in all that. I love the vibe on it. Clint Eastwood has in fact, Clint Eastwood, when he did Jersey Boys, he has an office on Warner Brothers lot. And I just walked in and I said, listen,
does.
I just want to work for this guy. I'll take anything you got. And they go, well, we got a part left for a guy who fires the Four Seasons out of a bowling alley. I go, I'm in. And I got to work with him for a day. And my wife, she's so supportive, and she just usually goes and lets me do my thing. She said, "You're working for Clint Eastwood? I'm going to work with you."
Oh,
she wanted to be Clint Eastwood, so it was very cool.
What's he like?
You know, he walks in, and you can't help not see the outlaw Josie Wales. You know,
Right.
like, oh, God.
Yeah.
But he's just stoic and cool, and he works so very quick, and he doesn't ever yell action or cut. Like before the scene starts, he goes, "All right, begin." And then when you're done, he goes, "That's enough of that."
That's a really good Clint Eastwood. You know what? I've got a thought. Here's I'm going to pitch something to you. You go back on the stand-up circuit as Clint Eastwood.
As Clint,
You
yeah.
do it as Clint Eastwood.
I don't know if he I don't know if he has a lot of jokes.
It doesn't matter. Tell your jokes.
Just do it in a Clint Eastwood accent. Yeah, you don't have to do a joke that Clint Eastwood made or told. You know, do a bit where anything sounds funny when Clint Eastwood says it. Yeah, you want to know why the chicken crossed the road? I'll tell you why he crossed the road. Because I dropped my dentures. And then I bet you people would laugh, and you'd be like, but that's not a joke. He literally had to cross the street to get his dentures. But you see how when he just tells you the truth, he just tells you something that happened last week. I had to cross the road to pick up my dentures, and everyone's laughing at him. Beats the hell out of a chicken any day, Mr. Eastwood. Mr. Eastwood
starts, he goes,
beats the hell out of a chicken any old day, Mr. Eastwood. That's an Irish accent from Back to the Future Part 3. Back in the Western days with the Irish
never yell
McFlys.
action or cut. Like before the scene starts, he goes, "All right, begin." And then when you're done, he goes, "That's enough of that."
That's a really good Clint Eastwood. You know what? I've got a thought. Here's I'm going to pitch something to you. You go back on the stand-up circuit as Clint Eastwood.
As Clint,
You
yeah.
do it as Clint Eastwood.
I don't know if I don't know if he has a lot of jokes.
It doesn't matter. Tell your jokes.
Just
You would
scare him
normally
into laughing.
But you just say them as Clint Eastwood.
Listen, your co-star Falake, from Nigeria.
She is.
I love how the show intertwines these two cultures.
It's beautiful, man. I think we put a beautiful thing in the air, and I always look for projects that express love wins, no matter what. Like Mike and Molly was about two people who thought they would never find love, finding love. And Bob Hart's Abishola is a statement about it doesn't matter what love looks like. And I think at the end of the day, if you have a hand to hold when you get into bed, you win.
Yeah.
And I think also the beauty of our show was we introduced the Nigerian culture to the States, and that's groundbreaking, and that's never happened before. And Gina Yashere, who is another comedian from Nigeria who created this show with Chuck Lorre, and she starred as Kemi on the show. You know, we got to bring this beautiful culture to the show, and it's nice to show immigrants in a positive light. There are positive immigration. And I know we're all trying to figure out how to do that the right way, and there's a good there too. We were all immigrants at once.
Yeah.
And then I loved what I learned about the culture, man. And the one thing our show really drives home is that when you marry someone, you marry their whole family.
Yeah.
So, and that's a through.
Yes,
You get the other side. No matter, you get a crazy uncle, you get an obsessive mother-in-law. So it reminds us that we're just all trying to wander through this orb with a place to eat, a place to live, and a place to love. And I think that's a good thing.
Thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Bob Hart's episode next Monday nights on CBS. Coming up next, Pam Grier.
Interview. Uh-oh. I broke the
Right
TV.
now, pet dander, skin.
I broke the fucking TV. I think you see me bleed.
Listen, your co-star Falake, from Nigeria.
She is.
I love how the show intertwines these two cultures.
It's beautiful, man. I think we put a beautiful thing in the air, and I always look for projects that express love wins, no matter what. Like Mike and Molly was about two people who thought they would never find love, finding love. And Bob Hart's Abishola is a statement about it doesn't matter what love looks like. And I think at the end of the day, if you have,
because Mike and Molly were both overweight that they thought they would never find love, and then they found each other. Yeah, I'd still fuck her. Now, you lost your friend Jim Brown recently.
Cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. Your air ducts are clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Glazer, who starred in the films Foxy Brown and Coffee and has a career spanning more than 5 decades. Please welcome the one and only Pam Grier.
I love you.
This is such a thrill.
Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, to be here with thanking the audience for caring for our industry for so long.
Yeah.
You know,
but you don't live in Hollywood. You're a Colorado girl. You've got horses. Like you're a country girl.
I'm dirty.
No.
I drink a lot of moonshine. Well, my family's from the Black West, so y'all testifying.
Yeah.
My family's from the Black West, Wyoming. My great-great-grandmother had a sugar beet farm and a hotel for the blacks and Chinese that worked on the railroad, a la Blazing Saddles.
Right.
And I was military, rural, and urban, the best of all worlds.
Yeah,
and so
everything.
I envision going to be living here in Los Angeles or New York, Hollywood. But reality, a family, rural roots, practical roots. And so it guided me, gave me a balance so I could live outside of Hollywood. And renovate through Bob Vila, my idol, this a house, a farmhouse on acreage, and support my career in Los Angeles because you know the taller actresses, Gina Davis, Sigourney Weaver, and myself, we don't get the cute boys. They have to put their head on our shoulder. Okay, you know what that's about. So to have a career, I needed the balance to have the longevity to be.
And also, you're self-reliant, which I think is the most important thing a woman in any business, but particularly show business, can do.
I learned from you. Guess who I learned from? When you stepped in. Come on now.
Stop.
Come on now.
Foxy Brown turned 50. Wow. Foxy Brown turned 50.
Can you imagine, like, when you first got that role, did you have any inkling that it would be such a cultural moment in society, such like the popularity is everlasting?
I was around a community, global community of women who are doing just that, but never were able to promote what they were doing to keep the home. We had war. Our husbands and fathers and uncles did not come home. So they had to be self-sufficient. And I brought that to Hollywood. And they were, you can name 10 John Deere tractors. You can name, yes, but I wanted to show, and they had never seen, it took 4 years to prepare men, a patriarchal society, to see a woman do martial arts, jump around, do stunts. They weren't prepared for it.
Right.
And they found it offensive, and they oppressed a lot of our womanhood. So when I came out, and I wanted to show, this is what I learned on the Air Force bases, Kung Fu, Qigong, internal, martial arts, exterior, external, like Qigong, Jackie Chan is internal, Bruce Lee is external, and there's a different form. And I had to show that without a sport bra.
Right.
Okay, I want to tell you what that was like. And then I didn't have a stunt double.
Right.
So I had to look and appear convincing. Pam, slow down your strikes. Don't street fight. Don't.
Right.
And I got hurt. And I hope when we do the production of my life as a series,
because they are making it as a series. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
I will show the first 4 movies with Roger Corman and how I did the stunts, and I got injured.
Oh, no.
And I didn't think I'd walk away, and I'd be covered with dust. And every episode was like, I can't do this anymore until I get a stunt double. To show what it took to prepare our audience to accept a woman in a masculine role, which it is not today, 50 years later.
Right.
And I didn't start it. It wasn't me. But I knew I had to do it. And I feel it. I have injuries. But to see it today, Charlize Theron, and you see all the other actresses just doing martial arts, and they call them franchises, and be so good at it, and have the stunt women teach you how to make them look good, and they give us an industry.
Right.
They make us look good.
Yeah.
They make us look like a heroine.
Do you ever hear from like the actresses of now that are doing the action films? Do they ever come to you for advice or tutelage or to say thank you?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's such an incredible group. And they will say, you allowed me to be, it's not masculine, but to do what I need to do to save my family or my child or whatever, and not be judged, and know that I could come out okay.
Yeah.
And often they don't have a stunt double.
Right.
But yet they said, I do get thanks.
Yeah.
See, it's so, like I said, it makes me cry. It's so emotional. Because I want us to be Mary Fields. I want us to be Calamity Jane. I want us to be, all the women that were in the West who their stories haven't been told. And they're coming. Because we want to. We get excited about seeing, our partners doing things that a lot of the men, they berated my mom for cutting the grass. And she said, no, I don't want it to look like a yard and everyone's embarrassed. We're going to go to the hardware store. Bob Beula's going to be, my hero, this old house, and we're going to keep our house. But it took a long time to do that. Yeah. Today, we have jet pilots, women. They're admirals on ships. They go to the moon. They're doing anything and everything to be a part of who we are, a balanced part.
Indeed. We need to take a little break. When we come back, Pam's going to tell us what she had to set the skip down when she read her latest role.
Stay social with us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. See all your favorite moments and anything you might have missed.
When Mark doesn't feel like being there, Mark lets everyone know, which forces me into Yuppie.
Next live, Grey's Anatomy star Kim Raver, plus Shogun's Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yeah, whatever. I know I don't want to smell your tea. I don't want to take a look at your picture. This whole fucking thing sucks. I want to get the fuck out of here. And then Kelly's like, look at me, I can tap dance. Want to see what got me an A in my senior English class? And then she starts tap dancing, does a cartwheel, and her skirt flows down, and then there's no panties on. It's just her like vagina, like Uma Thurman in the movie Johnny Be Good with John Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr. back when he was fat, chubby, young college-aged Robert Downey Jr. addicted to coke and crack.
What's in it, Mom? What's in the box? Nothing. You're lying. You're lying.
Grandma? Grandma, you okay?
After filming this, I'm in therapy, still been.
Oh, that was so scary.
Where'd she go?
Those are some of the things that were happening, and I was concerned when I met when I heard about Little Marvin, who is this director, writer, just genius, I said, Little, how little is he?
Right.
Okay, I'm reading this script.
Right.
And it's going to be challenging, and I'm going to be challenged. And here I am. I don't walk into a dark room.
Right now.
Okay, now, before. I said, if he pulls this off, like I think he will, and like I have to be there, this is going to be absolutely amazing and groundbreaking for me, because being a part of the civil rights movement, which taught you how to survive, stand tall with what you saw.
Right.
In a divisiveness.
Right.
And now I'm applying it to taking care of my daughter, the number one only woman in Los Angeles Police Department as a detective. And she's very good. And I'm watching her, my daughter, played by Deborah Ayun Day. They say Day Eda, and my son, my grandson. And now I'm aging. And I have medical issues and and I don't want them to have to take care of me. I've been taking care of them, and she doesn't need any more problems. And now, all of a sudden, I'm seeing paranormal issues and episodes that are, wait a minute. There was a washer in the basement that I used to wash clothes 100 times, and now it's aggressive, turning into a monster, and it's going to attack me. And is it my imagination? Is it my aging? Is it my medical? Is it my medicine? And I turn around and it's not there.
Just like the girl in the tub.
Yeah. That's my daughter.
Were there secrets that the showrunners didn't tell you?
Oh yeah, they want to surprise your ass. I'm sorry.
So
and I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna hurt somebody. Don't sneak up behind me now. Okay. And that was the story and the storyline of how we find our vulnerabilities and how we're controlled by so much in our imaginations. And I had the greatest cast to work with and the greatest script, and he pulled it off. And I said, I'm gonna get you, Lil Marv. So I put a fake mannequin head in my shirt. And I pretended I was the hunchback, and I started like walking down the hallway. And he was like, was that in the script? It is now.
We're so happy to have you
Thank
here.
you so much for being here.
Then the scare premieres April 25th on Prime Video. Next, we're going to open up that inbox.
Tuesday on Live for the new film Challengers, Zendaya.
It's time. And action. Hulu on Disney Plus is now available with your favorite movies, shows, and
Oh, look how long this episode took. An hour and a half to film this fucking episode.
And the storyline of how we find
Prime Video. Next, we're going to open up that inbox. Then the scare premieres April 25th on Prime Video. Next, we're going to open up that inbox.
Tuesday on Live for the new film Challengers, Zendaya.
It's kind of like fucking a short girl that's 30 years old, but she's like 5'1" and 90 pounds. So she looks like she's 12. So you kind of get off on it, but you're not going to go to jail because she's 30. So you kind of get off on it, like you're.
Thank you so much for being here.
She's 30 in real life. So you're not going to go to jail. It's like fucking Kelly Ripa after 6 shots of mezcal.
Tuesday on Live for the new film Challengers.
It's like fucking Kelly Ripa in a Catholic school outfit after drinking a half a pint of moonshine.
Thank you so much for being here.
Then the scare premieres April 25th on Prime Video. Next, we're going to open up that inbox.
Yeah, I'll open up your box and then I'll go in. Like a penis sex.
Then the scare premieres April 25th on Prime Video. Next, we're going to open up that inbox.
Tuesday on Live for the new film Challengers, Zendaya.
it's time. And
You might call this a sex.
Take me under the bridge.
Welcome to the inbox.
Linda Kay from Weirton, West Virginia says, when I was in grade school, it was easy to learn what a palindrome was because my zip code was 26062. That was probably the easiest lesson my teacher had to teach our class.
Okay, I'm still confused by all that. Confusing.
You don't know what a palindrome is? You don't get it? It's the same backwards and forwards. That's it. How do you not get that?
In school, it was easy to learn
But you're Haley from ABC's celebrated daytime soap opera, All My Children. Remember when Susan Lucci drugged you and then ate out your vagina while you were passed out in the security office at the mall?
Palindrome was because my zip code was 26062. That was probably the easiest lesson my teacher had to teach our class.
Okay, I'm still confused by all that. Confusing. Hey, check this out. Adrian Lakin from Tulsa, Oklahoma says, hospital TV's always on the live show.
Yes.
Dave from her hospital bed, we hope you feel better. We're all rooting for you there.
Stacy.
Yeah, we're all rooting for you there, yeah.
Was because my zip code was 26062. That was probably the easiest lesson my teacher had to teach.
Welcome to the inbox.
Linda Kay from Weirton, West Virginia says, when I was in grade school, it was easy to learn what...
West Virginia.
Class.
Okay, I'm still confused by all that. Confusing. Hey, check this out. Adrian Lakin from Tulsa, Oklahoma says, hospital TV's always on the live show.
Yes.
Dave from her hospital bed, we hope you feel better. We're all rooting for you there.
Stacy M from Windsor.
Hospital bed, we hope you feel better. We're all
what does that say on the whiteboard? Tuesday, April 17th. Oh, that's the date. The nurses put the date, so that lets you know that she took that picture, I guess, yesterday or 2 days ago. Or maybe it's from earlier that morning. Well, what are they wearing? Look what they're wearing here. I don't think they're wearing that now. Your nurses, Rachel.
hospital bed, we hope you feel better. We're all rooting for you there.
Stacy M from Windsor, Connecticut says, oh my goodness, Kelly, I did the same exact thing when I was a kid. I wanted braces so badly. I put paper clips in my teeth to pretend. People always react to me the same way when I say it. So I'm glad you just said it. That people still get that you wanted braces.
Hill Street Blues, and then St. Elsewhere. Do you remember St. Elsewhere? It was like a charity.
Anne from Windsor, Connecticut says, oh my goodness, Kelly, I did the same exact thing when I was a kid. I wanted braces so badly. I put paper clips in my teeth to pretend. People always react to me the same way when I say it. So I'm glad you just said it. That people still get that you wanted braces.
We were normal. We just wanted braces. Wendy Cuss from Portland, Indiana said, hello, Kelly and Mark. My husband and I watch your show together when we can, and it took us way too long to realize why our 2-year-old son Mason was making new funny faces. One day during the intro to Stop Mark, I looked over and it clicked. He was making all the faces Mark makes.
He's learning. He's good. He's good. Lori Liphart from Byron, Illinois says, I tape your show every day so my husband and I can watch it in the evening. We love your conversations, your banter, your flirting. You always make me laugh, and you make my husband laugh, and his laugh makes life better.
Oh, that's nice. Some people would call it light arguing. But oh, is that it? Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back.
Show the picture on your way out there.
If you would like to know more about anything you see on Live, log on to our website at livewithkellyandmark.com.
Lactate.
have an invisible built-in shoehorn, so my foot slides into place. What could be better?
How to make your life more eco-friendly.
And from Shogun, Hiroyuki Sanada will be here.
Andy Cohen will be here.
Have a great weekend.
More Andy Cohen? You mean since the last time he was here and he was all coked up talking about getting butt naked with his 7-year-old adopted son and taking long baths with him?
Go Green Week with a lesson on how to make your life more eco-friendly.
And from Shogun, Hiroyuki Sanada will be here.
Andy Cohen will be here.
Have a great weekend.
He doesn't care about making. He knows he can't make the pop. He makes his wife laugh. She gives him vagina. He's happy. And give him a fat paycheck.
You better.
Watch your ABC 7 AccuWeather team on Eyewitness News.
Coming up on The View, take my wife, please. As Senator Bob Menendez prepares for his day in court on corruption charges, do unsealed documents show he plans to put the blame on his wife, Nadine? Then, ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z is turning you on to the power of us with her view of the hottest topics on the planet. Plus, Billions and House of Cards star Corey Stoll talks about taking appropriate action on Broadway. And an all-new View Your Deal. Here come Hot Topics with Whoopi.
I don't mind, Joe.
You know, because they...
So that's the end of season 12 or season 2, episode 161 from April. I don't fucking know. I probably said it at the beginning of the episode. So go rewind it all.
It's live with Kelly and Mark.
Shut up. Come on, dude. So like and subscribe. And let me know if there's any requests you have. I would love to do some voices, maybe sing a song for you. I do great impersonations of different celebrities and singers. I could sing, a song in the style of that person, or I could sing a song in the style of a different singer. You want to hear me do, I don't know, Barack Obama singing a song by Metallica, or you want me to do the Metallica lead singer's voice, James Hetfield, and you want me to sing like the Itsy Bitsy Spider? I can do stuff like that. Just let me know and I'll shout you out and I'll do a request. Or maybe you want me to do something like put my finger in my ear and then suck the wax off. I'll do all that stuff for you. You know why? Because I'm poor and this is YouTube. And this is what poor people do on YouTube. So I'll see you next time. Remember, if you can't fill in my blank, let me fill in yours. Trust me, it'll only take me a couple seconds and you'll wake up in paradise, which is my